Good afternoon, Pokesports. It's your host, Mike, and I play with two Pokemon on the field. If you're like me, you're trying to get your team battle ready for VGC's first season starting soon, and if that's the case, you might want to hear this. For a lot of teams out there, you actually don't need to breed to get your Pokemon battle ready, and I'm going to show you how. Over the past few generations, Pokemon has always done small quality of life upgrades to make the competitive onboarding process a little easier, and this version's no different. If this is your first season getting into VGC, let me show you a couple of quick tips that you can do to get your Pokemon up and ready for battle fast. Now please note, in order to make sure you're doing this truly efficiently, you will have to have beaten the game. You can accomplish this without having done that, but you might hit a wall financially. Also, a disclaimer that you do still need to breed to get a 0-speed IV Pokemon. I don't know why they still make you do that, but they do. And if you don't know what I mean when I say a 0-speed IV Pokemon, then that line wasn't for you anyway. So here I have my Gholdengo. It hasn't seen a battle yet, which you'd think would be a bad thing, but it's actually great. Every time you defeat a Pokemon, you gain a little bit of an invisible stat called an effort value. These EVs push your respective stat up the more you put in. There's an exact math to it, and there are also ways to reduce your EVs if you mess up and fight a couple Pokemon, but I'll let you go down that rabbit hole on your own. It's a doozy. What you need to know is that each stat can only have up to 252 of these EVs, and in total, your EVs can only add up to 510. For my Gholdengo, I wanted to have 252 HP, 252 special attack, and the last 6 EVs can go into, I don't know, defense, I guess. Often, it's best to max out what a Pokemon's best in, so you'll be putting 252 EVs into most of its stats until you get into some advanced strategies. And you can actually see these stats in the moves and stats summary if you just press the L button once you're on that. This little hexagon right in the middle, those are your EVs. Right now, because I don't have any EVs on my Gholdengo, it's just a tiny little hexagon, but that's about to change. Now, the long way to bring up your EVs involves fighting a specific Pokemon while holding a specific item. The fast way is to use money. Head on down to Mesagoza's Chansey Supply and purchase as many vitamins as you need. The items tell you what it increases. For me, I purchased enough HP ups and calciums to get my Gholdengo to 252 HP and 252 special attack. And I'll give it that last iron too. Once your Pokemon can't take any more vitamins, it'll display on the moves and stats screen as a set of blue arrows instead of that one little yellow hexagon. The stats will also sparkle when they're maxed out, so that's a nice little touch. Great, so now you've increased your semi-invisible stats. Now let's increase the truly invisible stats. Each Pokemon's a little different because of something called individual values, or IVs. You can only see these by either finishing the game or leveling up your Pokemon and cross-referencing them with a calculator, but that one seems a little less fun. Assuming you've beaten the game, you can judge your Pokemon from your box just by pressing plus. Now, the only thing you're looking for here is the word best, and that means that your Pokemon has the most inherent values in that stat, meaning that it'll be the highest that it can be in battle. In order to get these to be their best, the long way is to start breeding, using specific Pokemon, holding specific items, getting multiple eggs, and hatching multiple Pokemon. The fast way is to use money! Head on down to Mesagoza's Delibird Presents and pick yourself up as many bottle caps as you have non-best stats. Take those down to Montenevera and talk to the man beside the Abomasnow. As long as your Pokemon are level 50 or higher, you can Hyper Train, instantly turning however many stats you want into their best IV. From a stat perspective, you now almost have a fully min-maxed Pokemon. Now the only thing that you have left to do is to change their nature. The long way is either to breed or to go look for them. The fast way, say it with me now, is to use money. Head on down to Mesagoza's Chansey Supply and pick yourself up a mint. This will change your Pokemon's nature, bringing the stat you want up by 10% and the stat you don't need down 10%. For Gholdengo, I want its special attack up and its attack down, so that's a modest mint. So for stats, you're now all done. Now all we need are the moves, and that's the easy part. Pokemon either learn moves by leveling, by TM, or via egg moves. For this, you can either remember moves the Pokemon may have learned in the past, or you can head to the technical machine, TM, to learn a move it doesn't learn by leveling up, but that it can learn. Now for egg moves, the change that Scarlet and Violet did this generation to make egg moves easier to get lies right here. Egg moves used to be, like the name suggests, learned by breeding. Not anymore. Now, as long as you have an empty slot on your first Pokemon's moves and a second Pokemon that knows the move you want, it'll teach it to that first Pokemon in a picnic, as long as the first Pokemon is holding a Mirror Herb, which of course you can get with money. And that's it. Do that 6 times and you have yourself a team. Now, I understand even the fast way with money can sometimes seem a little much. So remember that you can always use rental codes from your favorite players, like us. And in that kind of sense, you have the added benefit of knowing that those teams are tested and that they work. That always kind of helps. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.